Yep.
I think we should hold it safe.
You haven't cheered in a while, you know?
Oh, man.
Which used to be
This
open.
looks so good,
Let's go.
doesn't it?
I'll eat
It
it.
looks
It's
great.
like
No.
tainted down apple juice.
Welcome into another edition of Road Tripping with RJ and Channing. And we are hours away from the start of the Eastern Conference Finals.
We're hours. What?
Less than 24 hours and game one starts tomorrow.
Does that count?
Well, more than 24 hours.
Yeah, more than 24 hours.
Nuh-uh.
Dude,
It's 7 hours.
What time is it?
4 or 5.
I thought you were going to say hours away from the Western Conference Finals. I was like, yeah, that's about to start.
Oh, is that game on tonight?
Yeah, that
Oh,
game-
let's start over.
No, we're keeping
No,
that.
let's
we're
keep
going to
that.
keep it. Like, way to stay
You know
connected.
what? You know what? I just figured that you guys would get locked in and be focused in hours. You don't
Okay,
just
that's
turn
it.
your brain on and become mentally ready. You guys don't just flip a switch.
Yeah, no flipping and switching.
No.
We call it extra gears. There's the regular season gear. There's a preseason gear. There's a fourth quarter
Oh,
gear.
God. Regular season has a gear?
Yeah.
That's more like a...
It's like neutral. It's like
Neutral.
pushing my body when the car's in neutral.
Did you guys ever drive a stick shift?
No.
No.
Could you?
No,
No.
we're Americans.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
We
actually think
drive
it's
trucks.
sweet.
99% of cars
Big
sold in
trucks.
Let's
America.
talk about-
are-
let's
Well, I
talk
think that's
about-
more a sign of you're young.
No,
But I
I
drove a stick here in the U.S.
I drove a
like-
stick when I was a freshman in college, and I
Tractors
stalled
don't count.
on a turn.
Tractors do not count.
I have.
He's
funny.
tickled. He is tickled because he knew. He was thinking it. You were thinking it. I can see you out there with your overalls like, Dad, can I finish this hay bale so I can go shoot that ball?
I was gonna ask you guys something. Oh, trucks. Who got the new truck?
We can't tell you, or else
Okay.
people will like bug the guy.
Okay, is it a big deal?
No,
No,
it's not
yes,
a big
it is.
deal.
It is a big
You
deal.
guys put it on
no,
your
so,
snap,
Yeah,
so.
so Channing has the Shelby truck. So
love
back in
my
the day,
truck.
I got the Raptor truck, which is really just it's the icon of trucks, right?
The
Right.
Raptor truck.
Yeah, everybody has their own opinions, but the Raptor, when it came out,
Was ridiculous.
Was the most awesome truck out there. Channing then copied me, and he got himself.
We bought our truck literally the same day.
Who bought it? It was not the same day.
Richard,
Channing.
I sent you a picture saying, Richard, look what I just bought.
And
you go, Channing, look what I got. And then we literally exchanged
Is that
photos.
true, Richard?
That is true. I end up
I
painting
will.
my wife.
I will say this. This is what I will say about his story. We did not know the other one was getting the truck.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Look what I just bought," and I had just got mine. Right. So because I was moving team to team, I went from like Golden State to Utah to Dallas. So I wanted just like I got rid of every car I had. I only had like 3 cars or something. I know that sounds like a lot, but
You gave one to Basemore.
yeah, I gave one to Bazemore, filled it up with popcorn. But I just wanted the truck because I had my 2 Bulldogs, and I wanted to be able to drive more and put them in the car and just go for drives. So Channing shows me the picture, and I was like, Channing, I just got this truck a week ago. So as for the sake of the story, I got mine first. Channing copied me.
Right.
He got a 4-door. I had the 2-door, so mine was faster. Then he upgraded his to the Hennessy Velociraptor,
Yeah.
which is
Disgusting.
It's disgusting. It's amazing. It's awesome.
You painted yours white?
Wrapped it. Got it wrapped.
Oh, okay.
Got it wrapped.
What was it?
Black. It was exactly the same truck.
Mine
as
was
Richard's.
And you
two-door,
did
his
it
was 4.
because of him?
No,
No,
I didn't
no.
even know. I'm in Phoenix at the time, and I'm like, Dan Marley drove the first one I'd ever seen. And I was like, I need that truck. I ended up going. I think I was still in Phoenix and was like, I need this truck.
What kind of truck was it?
It's a
Ford Raptor.
So the new Raptors came out. They're not nearly as sexy as the original.
No,
they're
like
made
plasticky.
by aluminum, and the grill isn't as impressive. But the new one, the Channing. So this summer, Channing was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get this truck." He shows up with this Shelby Ford truck. That is,
It's unbelievable. It's the nicest driving, basically monster truck
beautiful.
I've ever been
It
in.
is a
It's
beautiful
it's
Shelby
truck.
makes trucks?
Yeah, they made a special
700 horsepower. Like
They made a special edition.
I drive
for
this thing
Ford.
every day. It's one of the smoothest rides.
How many did they make? They made like
They
5.
make 500 a year. So
Yeah.
every year, I think every year for the next 3 years, they make 500. So it's like you can only get them from specific dealerships. So I had to go to.
You have to get on a
Katie
waiting
Ford.
list and stuff? Or
Yeah, if you want a specific color. So they were like, okay, what color do you want? I was like, I want black or gray or the silver on black. So they were like, okay, you can either get your car from Florida. There's one truck here. There's one truck there. And I went on the internet and was searching, and finally, the guy at Ganley Ford, Ganley Ford? Yeah, Ganley. Was like, hey, we just got this black. And so I said, put it to the side. Just keep it in the practice facility. So I bought it the next day.
I tried to get into it. I did. I tried. I think I sent you a picture. So I came back here and I went to the practice facility and I saw his truck and I was like, God.
Ugh.
I really want that truck. The truck is beautiful.
It's such a nice truck.
I tried to see if I could get into it and drive it before he could. See if like the keys or something, but I couldn't get into it.
Holly, our team, like basically
everything.
Yeah, was driving. I gave her the keys and let her drive it. So it was like 100 miles. I was like, Holly, what happened to driving around the block? Yeah, where were you going?
That thing is soft.
No, I don't care. It's at the end of the day, I'm gonna put a grip of miles on that car. It's unbelievable.
Allie, you got a new vehicle, didn't you?
Uh-oh, take the doors off it. You got the jitterbug, huh?
Yeah.
Do you know? Okay, have you seen Zoolander?
Wait, Allie, what did you get? Allie?
No, Zookeeper.
My Lord.
No movie questions for Ali, please.
I have seen Zookeeper though, because I want to be a zookeeper one day. I got a Jeep
You want to
Wrangler.
clean up penguin poop?
You got
what?
You
A
got
Jeep
a Jeep
Wrangler.
Wrangler. Okay. What do you think?
Yeah. Can I just tell you that I had my first Jeep Wave moment yesterday?
Jeep Wave?
So
Jeep
you
Wave?
know. Okay. So she didn't know this, and this was new. And
I don't fit in those, so I don't know.
So you know how when people see each other in a Raptor, they wave.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
wave?
yeah.
She had that moment. Look at her. She's like gushing over
like,
there.
I was at a
yeah.
stoplight yesterday, and I was just whatever at a stoplight, and all of a sudden this guy turns in and he waves at me, and my first thought was like, "You don't know me. Who
wow,
are you?"
You're so defensive.
Just because I was like, "Wait, who are you?"
Weren't
you know,
you at
like,
home?
am I? No, yesterday I was here.
Oh, okay.
I was like, "You don't know me," that kind of thing. Like, how does this guy know me? And then like 2 seconds later, after he passed me, because it was a very subtle, like swagger kind of wave, like 2-finger wave. Swaggy, whatever. And after he passed me, I had like a legitimate moment where I screamed and I was like, "Oh my God, that was the Jeep Wave." I felt so cool. I did. And I actually, Mike Mancias had a Jeep as well when he was in Miami with Braun, and he showed me a picture of his Jeep, and then I was telling him about my Jeep Wave moment, and he was like, "The effing Jeep Wave." He's like, "I missed that."
Yeah.
It's
Are
so
you?
fun.
Jane seems a little. You seem a little quiet, a little bit confused.
No, I'm just like.
Well, because people. Okay, so people that have.
No, I
similar
get
cars,
it. I
yeah,
totally get it. I was just more like.
It's so cool. It's like when you're on your river or you're on the lake. And
I'm
you're
on
in a
a
boat.
river. There's no lakes.
Boaters, pontooners, they always what?
Oh,
wave.
the two-finger wave, dog. Hey, listen, I'm sitting on the dock fishing. I two-finger wave to everybody. Peace out, dog. I see you, Big Herb, over there on the pontoon. I see y'all finna come back litty.
Allie told me that she Googled it and found out about the Jeep Wave.
Before I got a Jeep. I've wanted a Jeep Jeep Wrangler for a long, long time.
Are you gonna throw some nice big tires on it? Okay, you got it. The
First
thing
of
about
all-
a Jeep is throw the tires on it. Get the light.
Yeah, but
It's
see,
not a CJ7. It's a Wrangler.
Yeah, that's sort of.
I
No,
wouldn't-
it's the take the doors off joint.
Yeah, like I legitimately just did that.
Yeah,
in
put
Ohio.
the fat tires on it.
Put
I
the
don't want the
bikini
fat
top.
tires. I still want to
You
be
want the
feminine.
put the pink seat covers
Oh
on it.
dear God, no, I'm not. a
Get
pink
you
girl.
a little pink
As
basketball.
you're wearing
I
pink
know.
shoes right now.
Yeah,
As
They're
you're
kind of
Oh.
like
wearing-
magenta.
No, those are pink, flat out.
Our captain today of our flight told me he loved my shoes.
Oh,
Put 'em in
is
a
that
good
why we
mood.
had such a rocky landing?
Oh, our landing was.
That's because
crazy.
you land on the water here. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. I thought that you were only. I learned something today though. I thought you were only allowed to take your doors off, like if you're sand duning or if you're on the beach or something, right?
Yeah.
So I took them all off, and then I realized once I took them off, as I started driving, I was like, "Oh my God, I don't have side mirrors because your side mirrors are on your doors." So I was like, "Oh my God, you get pulled over for this." But Rod, one of the security guys, told me today that in the law, like the law book on the road, the only thing you have to have on a vehicle is a windshield.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No,
Did not know that.
because no car I've ever driven does not have doors. Due to my
I would
There's
recommend
just
the
a lot
review
of
mirrors,
air.
though.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, you had your
My-
this.
people in
on your
Phoenix
side.
do that all the time.
Yeah.
Just
You just
roll.
feel so cool.
Oh, that's great.
I'm like
I
a
don't
little
know.
kid. in
I
a candy
keep
store.
I keep the doors on the Bronco. The Bronco is a good time, but I got to keep the doors on. I just it's not for me. Not for me. But I'm glad you had your Jeep Wave moment.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I felt
God,
so close.
I don't know. Hopefully he's a listener of the podcast and just know that you really changed Allie's life.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have something for you guys. I have a question for you. A listener actually tweeted to us. They want you guys to explain the story behind or the reasoning behind the riddles that you guys post on your Snapchat.
Holly, so
You both do it.
Channing Channing copies anything that goes on my Snapchat. And Channing, you roll your eyes, but I was the first one to do it, and then you started doing it.
Richard, you have hundreds of thousands of Snap listeners and Snapites. Snappy.
That's not. We're not talking about number of people here. We're talking about you stealing content. Okay,
Richard,
back to it.
I have to give the people what they asked for, and they're like.
But everyone that follows you follows me, so they might as well just.
I have a specific kind of like, put it this way, like, let's say you're the Jay-Z of the Snap. I'm more like the atmosphere of Snap.
I don't even know who that is.
I know you don't. It's an underground rapper. He's pretty awesome.
No, he's not. Yeah,
he is
you
very
can't be
good.
that
He's
awesome.
very
He's
underground.
No,
he
he's
should
not
stay-
that underground, but he's
He
pretty
should,
underground.
he should stay underground.
No, he definitely should not.
So
listeners, holla at your boy.
So as soon as we
Midwest rapper.
as soon as we walk in, the elevator opens up. The first thing that we see straight in front of us is Holly's office, and so Holly handles everything for us. She's amazing. She makes sure that we have everything that we need. She's one of many people that cater to us, but we see her first. She's also has to be really nice because she's the one that asks us to do appearances and team events and all this stuff. So right to the left of the board, she has the quote of the day, which is typically inspirational, and then she has the riddle of the day. And so it's something that when you walk into work, which we really are doing, you walk into work, it's just something that's kind of funny, goofy, and it just puts you in a different mood. But people do get mad when you don't give the answers to the riddles.
Do you guys know the answers to the riddles,
Yes.
or how many do you have to Google?
I don't ever
Google.
Most of the time, people on the Snap, like when I look, I get two different types. I get one Snap that people that are answering the riddle, and then I get the other Snap. They're like, "Yo, what are the questions?" My one of my friends from back home was like, "Yo, you can't keep putting up these riddles without giving me the answer." Like it's really starting to bother them. And so, no, but I don't want to put the answer. If you want to know, you got to figure it out. But I will say that's the most screenshotted thing that I ever put up. Every time I put it up, it gets screenshotted on Snap.
There was a Snap that came in today on our road tripping Snap, and it was cutouts of your head all over the Snap.
Who said?
And then it was lyrics from one of the
Was it a
recent pods.
romantic song?
No, not lyric. Like you talking on the
Oh,
podcast.
God.
And they just had your floating head.
That's
It was
weird,
like,
right?
yeah, it was weird.
Just a little
Yeah,
weird.
the people who like me are very artistic and
No, they're-
creative.
You and that artistic word
I know,
lately.
I like to use it.
So it's been a long time. We should probably talk a little bit about what's about to happen. The series that's about to
Well,
start.
I'm about to probably go back, take a nap, eat.
That's
watch some
clever.
of this game. Oh,
You have your "I'm trying to be clever" face on.
No, I have the I'm starving, like a Marving.
Well, unfortunately, our listeners complained quite a bit about the amount of eating that had been going
Oh, I
on.
know. I'm fasting.
I'm fasting for the sake
This is my
of the
time to
listeners.
eat.
Channing is not eating meat before dinner right now.
Just on non-game days.
Okay, we can't.
You
keep
know,
up
I
with-
can go days without eating meat.
Uh,
Like when you said that, I'm like, wait, you really eat that much meat?
I gave it
It's
up.
more
I gave it up for
protein.
Lent one time.
Richard, you're not.
I'm not. It's a
Symbol. It's a-
practice of
discipline.
Of discipline. Yeah.
How old were you?
I think I
Six?
think I told the story. I started this when I was in San Antonio, and Pop. And
That's
again,
when
it's
you
not a
gave up
relationship.
starting.
I
Oh,
gave
the
up
Pop thing.
starting. When I gave up starting, Pop told everybody to put on the list what you wanted to give up. So guys were like, "I'll give up red
That was
meat.
funny.
I'll give up candy. I'll give up wine. I'll give up this." And he had just taken me out of the starting lineup, and I was like, "I'll give up starting." And I showed it to Tim. I was like, "Tim, should I send this to him?" And he was like, "Oh, you should 100% send that up there." See, Tim, as much as he was the guy that, like, he was the older brother that would dare you to do something, and then as soon as you do it, he would walk around the corner so nobody else saw that he was a part of it. He would want to, like, walk around the corner and then look to see, like, the reaction of your parents when you did something stupid. That's what Tim, he used to set me up all the time. All the time.
Man, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. Oh,
Is that what Richard does
quit your
to you?
crying. Quit your crying. Yeah.
Not to be controversial, but I do want to ask your guys' opinion because I watched the TNT broadcast last night and Shaq, Kenny, and Charles.
Yeah,
Did you guys
I
watch
watched that. Yeah,
I didn't.
About
I did.
Kawhi and Zaza?
Right.
Ooh.
What do you think? Shaq was not having it.
Shaq wasn't having it. I'll say this.
Shaq wasn't having what?
That he
That
was a dirty
Zaza, yeah.
That
Did
he
it on
did it.
purpose.
This is what we will say. Channing, would you like to take this?
No.
Okay, well, this is what I will say.
No.
This is what I will say.
Why?
I'm not
There-
taking this.
this
There's
is-
no
this-
good answer.
No, this is the answer, and this is from the basketball. We don't have to get into is he a dirty player? Is it not? Is Draymond a dirty player? Is Olenek a dirty player? There's a thing in sport in anything called doing too much, right? And you can contest a shot. You can flail your arms. You can flail your legs. But when you start to do just a little too much, right? And that's what happened with Draymond, right? Draymond, if you can flail your legs when someone fouls you, but when you flail your legs to the point where you're kicking people or you're hitting guys in the face, Kobe got suspended for hitting Manu Ginobili in the face. Like Manu blocked it and he flailed his arms. Kelly Olynyk grabbing people's arms and pulling people. Like when you start doing just a little too much, that's when you get to the realm of dirty. Do I think that he went underneath him with the idea I'm going to try and sprain his ankle? No. But when you go underneath somebody, what it does is it will affect your shot. Because now instead of focusing in on your follow through, you start worrying, is somebody underneath me?
Yeah.
Like that's like mentally human nature. Like you start worrying about your space, but instead of focusing on what your actual thing is. And so, was he trying to step on his ankle? No, but they know he sprained his ankle last series. They know he had tweaked his ankle early. So if all of a sudden you go underneath the guy a little bit, right? Now the
Like
guy,
Shaq said, there's a 50-50 chance.
yeah. Well, and look, I rolled my my ankle on Shaq's foot before. Mind you, it was the size of a boat, so I didn't really have much space. But Bruce Bowen was accused of doing this so many times. Right, was accused of being a dirty player. He used to do it to Vince. He used to do it to players all the time. So for Pop to go in on Zaza is more of a frustration thing. But is he a dirty player? I wouldn't say that. Everybody, if you go and look at, I've played in 15 years. Channing has played X amount of years.
12
years. But I'm just saying, if you go back and look at all of our game plan, we're going to have 10 things where we elbowed somebody or we pushed somebody or we stuck our leg out. That's a part of the game.
I don't know about that, Richard.
How many times do you, as a big, practice closeouts?
Okay, what Kenny said, I think Kenny has a lot of good points, was arguably not one of the smartest things I've heard. Everybody closes, like, nobody, okay, think about how many, I'll say this is what I'm going to say. Now you got me talking. Think about how many times guys close out. Mm-hmm. Honestly, in a game.
What is hang on. Let me stop you there. What is a closeout in the NBA? Is it to run by? If they're shooting?
It depends on who it is.
How often
Kawhi
do you
Leonard,
do the shuffle,
you have
stutter
to,
step?
The stutter step to a jump straight up
Yeah.
is a thing that you practice at the beginning of the year, and it's something that everybody does. Watch a basketball game.
Yeah, right.
Right? Watch a game. It happens, I would arguably say, hundreds of times.
Yeah.
And the issue is, not once do you ever see anybody break that plane between somebody jumping up and then there was a step. It's the extra step that seemed unnatural.
And that's what I think Popovich has the point, because he jumped up, came down, and then took another step.
He didn't even jump. Now, mind you, what was he contesting? Okay, you have your hand up. You have your hand up. And for Kenny, and I listen, I don't ever call people or say anything. To say that Zaza doesn't work on that is almost ridiculous. He's been in the league for how long now? A bit longer than me, and you're saying who has he played for? Has he not played for Scott Skiles? Oh, he played for Scott Skiles. Yep. So we basically do that drill every single day, and Richard played for Scott too.
That sucks.
Every day you do closeout drills where you shuffle your feet, shuffle, shot, where you keep your hand up and then jump straight up. There's no extra. There's no nothing.
And this is
forward. There's none of that.
Zaza, no one's saying Zaza's a dirty player.
No, not at all. He's actually a nice guy.
You can have a dirty play and not be a dirty player, right? You can have a doing too much play and not be a person that guys are pissed off about. In that situation, Kawhi had just tweaked his ankle. And I'm not saying that you need to respect Kawhi's space. I'm not saying that as look, we're out here trying to win games. Right? If you want to get really, really close to him and make the shot really, really difficult, that's one thing. But ultimately, he was just a little too.
Let me ask you a question, just to put it in perspective. Does Popovich make the same statement if it's DeJounte Murray who turned his ankle?
Well, no. I think he would probably be very demonstrative still because he wants to protect his players, and that's who he is as an individual. But I think understanding if
it's like MVP candidate. You got to protect your star players.
Yeah,
let's keep it real.
If someone had done that, if someone had done that, and Steph had rolled his ankle, and Steph had been having ankle problems for a large portion of his career, like you're gonna be mad if guys are always trying to go underneath them, like but that's part of it. But yes, part of the reason why he's so because that situation can change the series. They would.
Well, that's,
but I'm talking about that's why he's so demonstrative. He's like, we're up 25. Our MVP candidate goes down. A guy's doing a little too much, and now we lose that game. We had a chance to steal home court. Now he's probably not going to play in the next game. So now I'm just saying there's a good chance that we could go down 2-0. Then we get him back. We're starting off 2-0 with our guy banged up. Like, this is the conference finals. Like, against one of the best teams in the league, and we had an opportunity.
It's just
to see
an unfortunate play.
The good news for them is they're off until Saturday.
That's why he's probably
tonight.
That's probably why he's not going to play. Is because
give him as much time.
You want to
give still only one.
You want to give him a bunch of time.
Yeah, but the Spurs are good, man. The Spurs won without him in Houston, so it's not like.
But one thing is to beat Houston one game, and another thing is to beat the Warriors for a whole series.
All you need to do is win one game. Now it's 50-50.
No, but I'm saying to beat them for a whole series without Parker and Kawhi.
Take the time off. Get his leg right. Go out there with your squad who has won how many games this year? 60 games.
Yeah, second best team in the league.
Yeah, exactly. And go out there and give it your best. But you need Kawhi at full strength to do what you need to do. And in all actuality, you think, hey, take care. Let's say Golden State takes care of home court. You come back home like, okay, well, all they did was take care of home court.
They did what they were supposed to do.
They did what they were supposed to do. But, yeah, it's an unfortunate play, and there was a lot of, things that stacked up. Like, he had stepped on one of his teammates' ankles.
Was that the first play that happened in that game?
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, where he took a shot, and then he stepped back twice to run, and he stepped on one of his teammates' ankles and twisted it that way, which is weird.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really happen a whole lot, And then that play with Zaza happened, and it's just one of those. It just doesn't happen a lot, and I think everyone's always let's protect the players.
Everything.
Magnify.
If this was happening in the third week of the season, there would have been a new news story already. But it's the conference finals. Everything is a little bit more important, so it makes things a little bit more intense.
So, are you guys ready to get going?
Yeah, we're ready. We're ready to play. To play.
I'm so tired of.
Yeah, this is the longest layoff of my career.
Those 3 days that makes a huge difference from the 7 days to the 10 days.
Well, we'll see.
Get anxious.
It won't make a difference. I think it's just boredom. That's all.
Yeah, we get very bored.
Bored. That's it. So.
Were you enjoying yoga?
Me? I actually did. I think it was good for us. I think. To just mix it up. And then I think, our player development guys do a good job of letting guys play. Certain guys play 4-on-4, 5-on-5. Even I was getting out there playing, one-on-one, half court, just to get that, you got to get that mental FU back in you. You're at home, you're relaxing, you're enjoying yourself. But something inside you is we're not done yet. So, especially for me, I'm it's just, again, you got to learn how to hate somebody. And usually we have 2 or 3 days to learn how to hate somebody, but it's
do you feel like you're ready for the crowd?
What crowd?
Boston.
Do they score points?
Yeah, that's a good point.
They don't score no points. And I've been cussed at, F you, boo.
The crowd.
I get hype on that.
Boo I feel me. Like they were. I just feel like they were very organic last night. That's all you heard. I felt like I was watching a college basketball game.
They're awesome.
In terms
their crowd
of the
is
fans.
awesome for them.
I've heard their crowd
they know the game.
Chant wife beater at Jason Kidd. I've heard their crowd say.
Did you hear what they were chanting at Kelly Oubre?
Yeah, who cares? At what point in time? It's look, they can chant F you, screw your mom, you suck, I hate you. Whatever. I'm just saying.
No, I know.
People,
what you mean.
chanting. you've played in amazing college experiences, and drunk college kids losing their shit all day, every day, and that's just a part of it. Like people, you enjoy it. It's funny
because when it's quiet,
you want to know what sucks? Going to an arena and there's no energy in it. That's what sucks. The crowd makes it more fun.
Have we played in the arguably this will be the third loudest arenas, or the 3 most excitable arenas in the Eastern Conference?
Who did we play in the first round? Oh, Indy.
Indiana was loud.
Yeah.
Toronto, great fans. And then Boston.
Yeah. Well, you're going to get, again, when you start getting
history.
When you start getting into the history and the Knicks, and it can be very, very excitable. But we don't care. It's fun. It sucks when you're losing, and when the crowd is going crazy. That part is not great. But it doesn't. It has an impact, but it's a very, very small impact. It's not something that's going to change it. I've played here in the Eastern Conference Finals. I've been down 2-1, where they came back from down 26 to beat us.
That was the historic.
That was a historic comeback going down in the. We were tied 1-1. We were up 26 points going into the fourth quarter. Paul Pierce and the rest of their crew hit a bunch of threes. They come back. They win the game. They're standing up on the table. They're yelling. They're screaming. The crowd is going nuts. It was like they won the championship. So now we're down 2-1. Everybody is writing us off because they won the season series against us in the regular season. Now we're down 2-1, and everyone's counting us out. They're Boston, this, that. Next thing you know, we wheel off 3 straight, including beating them. And that's when, like I said, their crowd was chanting wife beater to Jason Kidd because he had just had that incident with his wife. And it was just like, when you say the, fuck Oubre, or when they're saying that about Kelly, I've heard them say far worse things. And players, it gives you that environment where it's us against the world, where you just come in together and you have to protect your teammates, or you have to protect each other. And I think it builds that, I wouldn't say team unity, but it lets you know, it makes you guys that much tighter. So,
but in a way, even though you say they don't score points or anything, it does help to take them out of the game early.
Yeah,
because they're going to be pumped. I mean, they're going.
But it just takes away, like, let's say you may get 10 energy points, right? The guy might run a little bit faster to get a loose ball. Eventually. But, like, when it comes down to it, if you're in the Eastern Conference Finals, you could play ball regardless. We have to limit their energy plays, right? And that comes from us doing what we need to do. Now, you may make an amazing 3, but we know you can't live on that. You may make an amazing play, like where you shoot like a crossover, pull-up J. We're living with that. Because at the end of the day, these energy plays aren't going to equal our execution and our ability to execute like what we need to do as a team, and that's why we've had success. It's like, listen, even when we're down 26, it's like, hey, let's get the right group of guys out there. This is what we're going to exploit, and then we're going to attack this until they stop it. And all of a sudden, everyone was feeling comfortable, and it got a little bit tighter, got down to 15, got down to 10.
At their home.
And
at their place. Now the fans are like, what? No. 6, 2, 4. Oh, now we're down 7.
And where Boston is different than other places is they don't need their players to generate the energy to rev up the crowd. The crowd is going to be ready. The crowd is going to be locked in. So they don't,
because they've seen good basketball.
They've seen good basketball, so they are intelligent. So when a guy misses a shot, we got to make that shot. The crowd's not waiting for the players to give them a reason to cheer. The crowd is ready for looking for a reason to explode. Like that. That's the difference. So you're never going to get their crowd out of it. Like, so if they're down and then they start making a comeback, their crowd will be like, okay, finally we're starting to play ball. Like, so their crowd's always going to be in whatever game, especially with the defending champs coming in with their history with LeBron. This is the first time they've been in the conference finals in a long time, so their crowd is going to be into it. So it's going to be fun. I still stand by the fact that college experiences are far greater because you're just a young kid and you're dealing with this
playing
stuff.
In Kansas.
And you're playing Kansas.
And there's a party afterwards.
Playing in Oregon and Stanford where they're shaking the court and you got to you're in Oregon, hoop used to shake. Yeah. So literally you would have to throw the ball back to the referee, be like, man, look at the hoop. And the ref is like this.
I swear to you.
He's like, all right, calm down.
So at Stanford, so we played against Stanford. They were number 1 in the country.
And that's a rival, right?
Yeah.
Well, everybody's a rival, quote unquote.
At the time, they were, because we were both number 1 seeds. They had Jason Collins, Casey Jacobson, for you old basketball fans, Mark Madsen, Tim Young. They had a rich history
Curtis
for quite a few years,
for Utah.
But what they their floor, they used to have the bouncy floor. So our Coach Lute Olson, Hall of Fame, said, if it ever starts getting too loud, tell the referee that the basket is shaking. So I'm talking about with 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, their crowd is going nuts. And Jason Gardner, our American point guard, goes to the referee and is like, yo, the hoop is moving. So they tell the fans, all the student section, to stop, and they don't stop. So then they get on the thing and they say, if you do not stop, we will be awarded a technical. So they tell them that, and now they're furious. Like, their level of just frustration is so high. And for us, it's just, we're a bunch of smartasses. We're 19-year-old, 20-year-old kids. So the fact that we had their whole crowd just have to stop moving, it was amazing. And then one time we played at Oregon, and I think it was Gilbert. He's like, I'm looking at the basket, and the Oregon Duck, is sitting there kicking the basket before we shoot a free throw. You're like, you can't do that. And then finally the referee's like, Gilbert grabs the ball. He's pointing at the Duck, and the referee's like, telling the Duck, you can't do that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's when you start getting to a place that's surreal. Like
who's worse, the Duck or the tree at Stanford?
Oh, the tree is trash.
Oh, the tree
is trash. Like, for being such smart people, they had the stupidest mascot of all time. So
they are funny, though, because I remember a teammate of mine got in trouble for a bagel.
Oh, for stealing bagels? Yeah.
Hey, listen, they literally had a vending machine. We got in trouble for supposedly stealing candy, which we didn't, in Kansas. So we came back to Stanford, and they were throwing bagels and candy from a man-made, cardboard cutout of a vending machine. So a person's sitting in there doing this.
Oh, that's funny.
Throwing out bagels like crazy. It was hilarious.
The signs at college
places.
The signs. I used to see, suck my Richard. It was awesome.
Oh, that's funny.
Dude, Kansas was so loud that when you go out to shoot your warm-ups, not even your team warm-ups, your individual warm-ups, I couldn't hear the coach what he was telling me. That's how loud it was in that arena. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, I just think that, and just to bring back Channing's point, when you have been through high-level college experiences, like Channing hasn't been to the Final Four, but I'm saying when you've had to play in places that were extremely hostile.
Playing Illinois and DePaul, I think, was pretty hostile.
It's
in DePaul.
Yeah.
Cameron Indoor is loud, too.
Yeah. Is it? Screw that place. Just kidding.
What do you mean, screw that place?
Kansas Arena, the fog is loud.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of where. I didn't really
I heard Toledo was loud.
There, again, I'm old, but.
Channing, we had like 8,000 people at a legitimate rival game of my senior year. It was the first time we'd ever beat Bowling Green in 14 tries.
Wow.
Hey,
and we played them my senior year, and we finally beat them.
Did you cry?
Okay, wait a second.
8,000 people.
At a girls' basketball game?
Yes. They
stormed
the
That's
floor.
crazy.
Our football team was there. It was nuts. It was on my birthday.
Did you cry?
I
did
not
cry.
but I will tell you that I was not in the game. I was on the bike. I was not in the game at the end, and my coach looked down at us because she had gone to the NCAA tournament. So she understood what the tournament was all about and everything. And she looks down at us and she goes, act like you've done this before. That buzzer sounded and I was like, I did. And I ran out and she has a picture of me leading a charge from the girls on the bench with my hands in the air. She's framed in her basement. She thinks it's one of her favorite moments because I was like that, and everyone just stormed out. They had fat heads.
They had never
in the stands of all of us.
$8,000. No offense. $8,000 for a Toledo women's basketball game is a grip.
Oh, we're top 25 in attendance every year.
Are you?
The women are, yeah.
How fun was it? How fun was it? Once you became a sophomore or junior, your incoming freshman, taking them to get them drunk for the first time. Because I didn't drink before I got to college.
I didn't either.
I didn't either.
Yeah, Jason Gardner, I know we mentioned him earlier, coach at IUPUI. So Jason,
the worst influence ever.
Well, and what's funny that he was the worst influence for you.
Wait, where is he from?
He's from Indiana. He went to Central something, I think.
I thought he went to.
Did he?
North
IUPUI, you said?
Anyway, he's the head coach at IUPUI.
Oh, we didn't go there.
No, he did not. He went to Arizona.
Oh,
He went to University of Arizona.
Stay with me.
And so so we're sitting there, and we're in a dorm, actually with two girls on the basketball team. So we're just drinking in the dorm. I was a sophomore. He was a freshman. So I'm sitting there, and he's like, Richard, I don't feel anything. And we keep drinking vodka. We're drinking we're screwdrivers.
Obviously.
Screwdriver. So it's
I used to drink vodka Kool-Aid.
Yeah, so it's
because it was cheap, boy. Yeah. With the little cheap shot glasses.
Oh, it was easy.
I'm tearing this pop off of.
So we're drinking this, and he's like, Richard, I don't feel anything. Like another 20 minutes later, he's like, Richard, I don't feel anything. Drink another like 20 minutes. We're playing cards or something. I don't remember. We were playing Kings. And so they were like, he's like, Richard, I don't feel anything. And he said one more time. I was like, all right, don't, you're fine. Look, man, you're good. You're good. And then like 2 minutes later, he's like, Richard. And I'm like, what's up? He's like, why can't I feel my legs?
I still don't feel anything.
He's like, Richard, why can't I feel my legs? And I was like, that means it's working. No, I had some real bad stories. I remember I got so drunk. And I found a bottle of Everclear.
Gasoline.
And I was just so stupid. I think I took it to the bathroom so nobody would stop me from drinking it. And I took like 2 or 3 shots in the bathroom by myself when I was already drunk. And, I hadn't eaten anything. And I'm like 19, like 200 pounds. Like I was sick for like 3 days. I think I hit on a football player's girlfriend or something like that. And I'm literally like whispering to like her, like, don't worry, they're fine. No, he doesn't care. And meanwhile, they were getting blown out by Penn State. It was.
Did they mix fraternities and athletes at Arizona?
Well, they didn't. They didn't. But let me tell you this.
But they loved us.
They didn't. But we were the basketball team, and I don't mean that in an arrogant way.
But I
mean that in an arrogant way because we were just chill. Like,
no, but they liked you, Luke, Jay Gardner, Gilbert was a
they don't. But we were the social butterflies of the entire athletic department. So Coach Rubio at University of Arizona, he's the volleyball coach. So he would ask us if we were throwing parties or if we were going out because they had big time recruits, and he was like, "Yo, we have some really big time recruits. Can you take them out? Can you do that?"
Yeah.
And so
Kim Glass came to a party.
Yeah.
What's up, Kimmy?
Yeah. Olympic silver medalist. Olympic
Who?
silver medalist.
Yeah.
Kim
what?
Glass in volleyball. Stud. And so but it was. We used to go to all the fraternity parties, every single one of them.
I think Bree came on that same official visit, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Shout out to Bree Walton.
Yeah.
She's whose age?
She's younger.
She's younger.
Maybe
but
2
older
years.
than you?
No, she's a lot
younger, 2 years.
She was
Stephanie Wessel.
She was a
took him out.
freshman.
Sorry, all our friends.
Yeah, she was a fresh. So
Dog?
our buddy's wife, right? He's probably gonna get mad, but it's kind of funny.
Justin Wessel.
Justin Wessel.
What's up, Weeze?
One of our really, really good friends. He his wife Stephanie, her name was Stephanie Saragosa. She's from San Diego. Now Luke and his brothers were gods in San Diego.
Oh,
like they never lost a game.
disgusting.
They never lost a game in San Diego. It was 4 brothers. That their dad's Bill Walton, so they were just those guys. So Coach Rubio comes up to us and is like, "Hey guys, I have a really big time recruit coming in. Can you take her out?" So he takes her out. She's a very, very pretty girl, and I just remember overhearing her go, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm here with Luke Walton." Right? And so,
are you talking about Bree?
No, I'm talking about Steph.
Oh, Steph.
This was Steph. This was on Steph's recruiting visit.
This
I
was
wasn't
on her. There yet.
So this is on her recruiting visit.
I said that when I took the job with Fox and Luke was on our team.
Right?
I was like, oh my God. That's Luke Walton.
So,
I watched him when I was a kid. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's
but
not.
I did have one of those
girl.
Luke Walton moments.
Yeah. So everybody had
Listen,
one at Arizona.
everybody.
At Arizona, everybody
It made me
had.
disgusted.
When the very first time we were on the bus after a game and he shared with me his bulldog on his phone, I felt so connected.
That's Elwood's brother.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, that's Elwood's brother,
I just had a
Gus.
Luke Walton moment, though.
No, so Luke and
Nobody ever does that.
Yeah, everyone has Luke
Maybe
Walton.
on Snap. No.
So one of our teammates, Justin,
dog over here,
4 years later ends up marrying Stephanie. Yeah.
Yes.
So they're married with 3 kids.
So he's heard
now.
the story?
Oh, he heard the story.
Okay.
It's hilarious. But there were some of our closest friends. But it's just funny how recruiting visits and who you had. Like Diana Taurasi came on a visit to
She just
Arizona.
got married.
Yeah, she just got married.
Penny Taylor.
Yeah.
Is that her name?
they?
Penny Taylor?
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? Hey,
Right,
what's
Penny
up,
Taylor?
girl?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's her name. Yeah.
They got
Okay,
married
first of
the
all-
night before the season started.
No lie. I have not told anybody this, but Diana Taurasi beat me in a shooting contest. A legit, like, with a man's basketball.
Well,
Sorry.
I don't. It's called.
It was
it's
actually
called a
great.
men's basketball, and two, no one's surprised by that.
I was surprised by that because I was like,
What was the
shit,
contest?
it's like 100 shots.
Yeah.
All threes.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just shooting after, like, all of us were down there, like, playing pickup before the season. So she's there. And we're like, all right, before practice, you got to get up, like, these 100 shots. So Steve does it. Steve gets, like, 86, 87, whatever. I get 78, 80. So I'm thinking, I'm solid, dog. You know what I'm saying? So Diana's there, and I'm like, man, your J is weak, dog. She's like, you want me to shoot a man's ball or a girl's ball? I was like, whichever one you care. She goes, I'll shoot with yours. Yo, I have not seen anything so surgical in my life.
You realize she's like a 4-time All-Star, 5-time All-Star,
I understand.
MVP.
Listen,
Like,
this is a long time.
She's
ago.
known
This
as a
this is
shooter.
my first year in Phoenix, so like I had met Diana a bunch of times, but it was more like I really want to see how good how good you really are. Just shooting, surgical.
How many did
Okay.
she make?
89.
She beat Steve?
Yes, but Steve was like, Steve is Steve, and he really was kind of like on chill mode. So, Steve, sorry to put you out there like that, but Diana Taurasi was barbecuing us in this one drill, and after that, I was like, holy crap.
Let me ask you a question. Excuse my ignorance. What's the difference between the men's ball
It's
and
heavier.
the
smaller.
women's
It's
basketball?
smaller.
Heavier.
It's smaller.
Really?
Yeah.
The men's ball is bigger.
Bigger and
Wow,
a little
I
bit
didn't
I
heavier.
think
know
a men's ball weighs a pound or something like that, right?
I don't
Is
know
that
the
the
exact
only
weight.
sport where they play with different size?
I don't know,
'Cause
but
I know
I
in
will.
soccer
Tell,
they
I
play
will.
with a
T-
number
I,
5.
I will tell you this is noticeably different.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Noticeably. Like the minute you
But
pick
in
it up,
soccer
you're
is
like,
not.
no.
I'm sure in volleyball it's not the same ball.
Another girl that
Yeah.
impressed me was
Really?
Brittany Griner. I stayed and watched one practice.
Hmm.
They scrimmaged. She did a spin move, baseline, and boomed on 2 girls. I walked right out of practice. I
she
said,
was better
Lord,
than you.
dude, she has longer arms than I do.
What is that? You're 7 feet tall.
She's not 7 feet, and she has longer arms than
What
I
is-
do.
okay.
She's freaking good.
You're
Shout
right.
out Brittany Griner.
Way to concede.
Phoenix Mercury. I'm
Way
not
to concede.
conceding, but she was booming on them girls in practice. It
If
was
you
ridiculous.
could get either of them on here.
I'm just gonna tell you, hey, you put
No, we
any
ain't
of them
gonna
on
be
the
in
court with
Phoenix.
me, I'm gonna give them that work.
I'm not playing them one-on-one. They throw too many elbows. I don't care what y'all say. If you really watch a game, they're not as athletic, but when it comes down to like moving space,
I had a substitute teacher, Mrs. Bell.
how
I had
many
a
elbows
in
do you throw a
elementary
game?
school, and she
1,000.
was the
A lot.
first girl
Fact check.
basketball player that I ever. So she was cute, and so the boys used to kind of flirt with her, and she was like on and off like a substitute
You used
teacher.
to flirt with your teacher? I think
Well,
it's illegal.
yes, no, it's not illegal. It's only illegal if you act on that.
Okay.
And
He
so
really has a
he was
crush on his
18. He was
teacher.
no. This was in like junior high.
I'm joking.
And so she was like our PE sub one day, and she's like, "Oh, you guys want to play basketball?" And we're like, "Yeah." And she came out and started giving us work at Desert Foothills. I'll never forget. I don't remember her first name because you don't really know your teacher's first name, but
Just
Mrs. Bell. She actually gave
Did
us
you
a
guys
free
ever
work.
used to like torture substitute teachers in class?
We used to torture teachers. Substitute teachers got it easy because
You
they were
know
like,
those-
we would sit back and like, this is too easy. Like the real teachers are the ones we used to torture.
You know
No.
when like you have a substitute and you have one kid that'll say a noise, and when the teacher looks at that kid, then the other kid does it?
Oh, the penis game.
What is that?
Penis.
And then when she looks at you, someone else does it.
Oh,
and she looks
nobody knows that game. Oh, nobody knows that game.
No one knows that. That's just you,
Oh,
Channing.
what a
Have you
dick,
seen?
Richard.
You've seen the Key and Peele sketch where he's talking about calling out the names.
Hey, Aaron?
Aaron. You mean Aaron? Okay. If you guys are gonna keep
Yeah.
messing around, is
Listen,
Aaron?
If somebody gives me some crazy name, I'm gonna go postal.
Yeah,
Balake? You mean Blake?
You mean Blake?
No.
He's like
What name is
Balaki.
that?
What
Yeah.
kind of name is that?
Okay. What about D-Nice? Is there
D-Nice
D-Nice?
here.
You mean Denise?
You mean Denise?
No.
Oh no,
That's it.
that is an amazing skit, and most of their skits.
Key
are,
and Peele,
yeah.
shout out. Holla at your boy.
How
I love
about
you.
the
I love you guys.
That one skit.
Frillo, shout me out.
The sarcasm class.
Oh yeah, so there's an old skit, and I am. If you guys listeners haven't noticed, I am a sarcastic smartass to the fullest. That's all.
He's
and
a dick.
You're a dick. You know that?
No, your name literally is Dick.
I understand that, but I'm not a dick. I just named Dick. Okay?
If someone says jab the knife in deeper, how would you take that?
What do you mean? Jab the knife in deeper?
You had to hear the context.
I'm trying.
Channing told me that you two, because I live in Westlake and I really don't have anyone there because I obviously live alone, and I have a lot of friends here.
So you read books upside down.
Yeah.
Channing told me that you guys aren't even my friends. You just use me. And I was like,
I said we
geez.
use her for ratings.
Yeah. Geez, jab the knife.
PR.
I said, geez, jab the knife in deeper.
Oh.
No. So
but
he
that
already
makes-
told you were the Fergie. Like
Yeah, you're the Fergie of the Black Eyed Peas, girl.
Are nothing without Fergie.
Listen, you got to come out with your own single before we.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like Rafa is the one guy who dances but never has a verse. Like the Asian cat. I forgot his name. I met him
I
once.
played the air guitars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The guy
No,
who's
Rich
like really
plays the
good
air
at
guitar.
dancing.
Oh yeah, guitar. The
Go
guitar.
on. I'm sorry, I interrupted
Yo,
you.
no, so go on. There's a Sarcastic 101 class. It was like an old SNL skit with Matthew Perry during his Friends days, and I think it's making its round. These things
so
always
funny.
pop up on the internet, and they're always a little bit more funny. It's just like, could you be any stupider? Yeah. So I'm a big fan of anything sarcastic. Did you guys see? Speaking of sarcasm, did you guys see the SNL skit with the dog that loved Trump?
No, you lost me.
Oh, it's a great skit. If you get a chance, there's a.
Tell me about it, Richard.
Okay, I'll tell you about it. So there's a dog, and they set the skit up where they're about to show that they have a device that can allow a dog to talk, right? And so they're asking the questions, and I think is it Scarlett Johansson? I think it's Scarlett Johansson.
What's up, girl?
So she's like, "Oh my God, we figured it out.
I love you, Lauren.
The system's working. The dog is about to talk." And it's like, "Woof woof," and it's like, "Is that all your dog can say?" And it was like, "No, I can say lots of things." And it's like, "Oh my God, it's working." Yes, it's working, and Trump is my man. And so then, it's hilarious. And so then he just starts reeling off all the facts. It was like, what are you talking about? He was like, you know, your best friend is little Mikey the Chihuahua, and he was like, well, if Trump gets his way, they're going to get rid of him. It's like, if Mikey was born here, he has nothing to worry about. And he just started reeling off like random Trump stuff, and so
I feel
it's
like
kind
you
of
guys
funny.
could do an SNL skit.
Channing and I.
Yeah.
I definitely could. I'm definitely a
You're
thespian.
humble enough to know that.
You could do the news.
No, I could. I literally took like
No
acting
skit.
class. Like my mom was a big time actress, so like local big time actress. Like back before I was like any good at basketball, so like she made me go to all these stupid acting classes. I actually used to do a play at the Herberger Theater about Rosa Parks and the Underground Railroad and like the whole Civil War.
Really?
Rosa
Civil-
Parks and the Underground
No,
Railroad.
this-
Okay, I was saying there was a little bit of time gap between the two.
That
of
whole
those.
movement, fool.
The whole civil rights movement.
Yes, the whole civil rights movement.
Oh, okay, like the whole,
From- yes,
from
the whole-
slavery.
from slavery, boom,
Okay,
boom,
I
boom.
was just
Yeah,
at that.
segregation.
I was like Rosa
Sorry, I'm
Parks.
not
It was
putting the pieces together.
Equal opportunity.
It was Harriet Tubman.
Trubman?
Yeah.
Or Tubman?
Tubman.
That's what I said.
No, you said Trubman?
Well, that might be the one.
Truckman?
That might be the one.
Okay, I have two things, and then we can wrap it up. One, do you think there's a chance, high probability, that Matthew McConaughey will be at Game 3? He was at the
Yes.
Indians game last night.
Was he?
Shut up,
And I saw
Maddie. What's
his
up,
was
dog?
beard
he's filming
and
a
his-
movie.
Yeah, I saw his beard and his. Oh, we didn't talk about it on this. We talked about it on Facebook Live.
Oh, yeah, he came to dinner. He
Yeah,
came to
he's
dinner
at
at
dinner
Kev's
with
house.
us.
Yeah.
You know that one of our Cavalier girls, Olivia, is like shooting the movie.
Oh,
that's
really?
awesome.
That she was like the
she's
flight
shooting the
attendant
movie?
in the private jet or whatever plane that he's in the movie with. So.
Oh.
okay.
Well, you're right. His beard and his mullet is
It's pretty awesome.
hideous.
He is exactly what you think he would be.
He's pretty cool.
Awesome.
He is pretty cool.
He's so deep.
When is he coming on road tripping?
Nah,
Yeah,
listen, I'm
we-
going to tell you this right
we
now.
tried to whisper it a couple of times, like hint, hint. I'm saying. So,
No,
fans, if you guys want to hear Matthew McConaughey on road tripping,
Blow his.
you guys
Does he
just
even
blow
have
it up.
social media?
I don't know. Somebody does. Find him.
I would not be
We
surprised
should send
if
him a
he still
tweet saying
got
how many
pigeon.
retweets for you to come on the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude,
He might be.
but like his perspective on things is unbelievable. The funniest, I don't know if you caught this, but we were upstairs eating. I think you had gone downstairs and that Lincoln commercial came on, right?
Yeah.
And I'm eating and I'm not even like looking at where he is. And I forgot that he was even in the room because he's just kind of like chilling with all of us. And I hear, get yourself a Lincoln. Get yourself a licking. So I'm like, who the hell? Oh, shit, that's you, Maddie.
Yeah.
That's you. It was so, and I just see him slow turn, like such like the slow turn, like you're such a good actor.
So
dog.
that's the first time you met him?
Yeah.
Never mind.
He walked through the door, and I was
did you start
like,
sweating?
no, I was like,
No,
I did fangirl for a second.
I didn't have a Luke Walton moment. No, I didn't.
No. I did fangirl for a second. I was like, hey, who's overrated? And he was like, no, we just do things differently. You know, I like the way he talks.
So you started going like, whoa.
But then he started saying who. Then you asked who was underrated. And
Yeah.
he jumped all over that. He gave a name of a few people that he thought was really.
forgot.
Yeah.
Richard forgot too.
No, Sam Rockwell was one of them.
that was one.
Yeah, that was one.
But dude,
He mentioned he only mentioned like 2 or 3.
Oh, I gotcha.
Because then he obviously Channing with his ad libs. He's like, what about Idris? What about Idris? Is he underrated? And it's just like Channing, like, can he finish his thought?
no, he cannot.
Didn't he laugh at your jokes like everyone laughs at your jokes?
I don't really remember. I was too nervous. No, but like then his perspective on how he like approaches every film and every scene was crazy.
Talked about how he kept his diary.
Yeah.
What?
Well, he keeps a diary because the movie that he's filming today, he might not start doing press releases for a year.
Oh.
So it's like you get back and like, what was it like to work with this director, or during this scene, or what was it like working with this actor? So he keeps a diary of all the stuff that goes on.
Sometimes because they don't film it in order.
Yeah,
So
and so he'll go and do multiple movies before he goes back and starts doing the presser for another one.
Will you guys write a book when you're done?
No.
If I was writing a book, which I'm not,
It would be pictures.
wink, this would be it.
The podcast? It would be a whole chapter?
No. I did a couple pages, not a whole chapter.
The
Yeah, the Cleveland whole experience, Snapchat, Little Kev, the championship. That
The
would be
podcast
the
wouldn't
podcast.
be a chapter?
No, I'm saying the whole Cleveland would be, about 6 pages.
My life would be like an episode of Ballers.
Well, so this is the thing.
But like real boring.
Every team,
Every
every team is
he's
going to be a
back home
chapter,
again.
Oh, yeah.
and I'm going to have a 19 chapter book.
Okay, finally. Did you guys see who was hosting the ESPYs?
Oh yes, Peyton.
Peyton Manning is low key one of the coolest cats. Like
That was one of your most exciting moments.
Funny
was
dude
like
too.
very funny.
His commercials are great
because he's like
Dry, funny.
He is
super
funny.
dry, like vermouth dry.
Yeah.
But
Sweet-
it's like
sweet
oh
vermouth
shit, that's
with a twist.
Funny.
Wait, it's Eli, Peyton, and who?
Archie.
No, that's the
No,
dad.
I just did that.
It's the guy that does all the commercials. A lot of them.
Herb.
Herb. We
brother?
just call him the other one.
The,
It's Eli, Peyton, and then the other one.
I wanted to know if he was really real.
No,
he is
he
real.
does.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's real, okay.
No, you don't know his story?
He's supposed to be better than all of them.
No. So he had like
Peyton.
either a neck injury or something, and he was on. I forgot where maybe he went to Tennessee.
Tennessee State.
He went to Did he go to Tennessee
Yeah,
State?
that's where Eli went.
No,
No, I'm
no,
sorry. No,
Ole Miss.
Ole
He went
Miss.
to Ole Miss.
They both went to Ole Miss.
And so he had a neck injury, so he couldn't end up playing. And so that's the reason why
Cooper Manning.
Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper.
That's
Coop
right.
Dog?
So,
McConaughey.
he's actually a player and had a Division I scholarship, and I think he just because of his injury he couldn't continue playing.
Oh.
I think their family's doing okay.
All right. Well, before we wrap it up, should we let our listeners know from episode 25 who Keenan's girlfriend is?
No, people already told me they looked it up on Google.
Oh, they did?
Yeah,
they know?
already know. Yeah, they already know.
Oh, I
So
just
can
saw someone said, you guys never told us who.
Oh. It's Lindsey Vaughn.
Can we get Lindsey Vaughn on the podcast?
Can we? She's busy right now, but I think
Whatever. There's no snow anywhere.
no, she's doing like her tour.
I know,
This is Olympic year. So good luck, LV.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Get it, girl. She is a great follow on Snap. She is a great follow on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Very empowering for the young ladies.
Yes, she is.
Great
She-
example.
No pun intended.
What?
Where would the pun be?
Because she's power. Like, she's
She's
very.
strong. She's strong as shit.
Oh, first of all,
No, we
she
show-
she
inspired.
commands
I was
the room.
I'm very serious about
No,
that.
she shows
She
her
commands the
workout.
room. She
No,
punches me in my arm every time she sees me.
Yo, you see her
She's
workouts?
so-
Her workouts? Like, no, that shit
Oh,
that
like,
makes
I'm
me
not
feel
doing
bad. She starts doing her core and ab, and you're like,
Did you
yeah.
see that The Rock, she was the one athlete that he would like to go against?
In a gym?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's strong.
I think it was who he thinks could hang with her. What other athlete had a chance to hang with him?
Well, he
in the
needs
gym.
me in the weight room. I'll be throwing them irons, dog.
But The Rock there's just so many needles involved in The Rock's workouts.
Okay, this is
what? Just before you.
I loved him in Moana.
Cooper Manning was diagnosed of spinal stenosis.
Way to know your shit, Rich. Way to know your shit.
That is, what is it called? It's the thinning of the spine.
Damn.
So if he played football, he could be.
He went to Mississippi, where his father was, like his father's alma mater, and he was the better one of the three.
Damn.
You know what I
then
heard?
He couldn't play anymore.
You know what I heard helps with that spine?
What?
What do you call it?
Stenosis.
Oh,
Spinal
jeez.
stenosis. Narrowing of the spine
apple cider
and pinching
vinegar?
of the nerves.
Apple?
No, my mom freaking loves apple cider vinegar.
That's
though.
so
She
do I.
loves
Oh, I know what.
It's like the true medic massagers. We got to give a shout out to them.
Insta shiatsu.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The shout out to that. My mom loved that as her Mother's Day gift.
The
The
true
massagers.
massager.
But we also wanted to let you guys know. Did you bring yours?
Yes.
Oh, I
We'll
didn't.
bring it. We'll use it for
So,
the next episode.
The day after you put that on their snap and then we
Yeah.
talked about it on the podcast, we were going to surprise you guys because True Medic reached out to Rafa and sent us one. So we were going to walk in with ours.
Oh,
But we left it at
So that's
I
all
left it at home.
exciting.
but we.
Heck yeah! Because I
What?
feel
Dude,
like
it's the best.
The
It's better
massager.
better than the roller. I use it on my
Yeah.
legs.
What
we
Oh,
just
yeah.
felt
The massager,
Rafa and
like
I,
the
The
one you
massager's,
got.
the massager's
It's
amazing.
the
Rafa-
Insta shiatsu, by the way. It's TrueMedic.com.
Rafa and I just felt really cool because
We wanted to walk in with the thing. You know,
you guys
like-
got
$3.99. Listen.
No, but literally, it works.
Oh, it's so good.
It works not just for you, the whole. It's a full body massage.
Yeah.
shout out to them.
Shout
It's
out
a
to
great
them.
Mother's Day gift.
Shout
Yeah.
out.
Your mom loved it, right?
She loved it. My entire family has taken it from her. My
Uh-oh.
brother, my dad, yeah.
Oh no, that thing's
She'll
awesome.
get it, yeah.
That thing is going to get a
It's
lot
wonderful.
of use.
That's how I woke up today. Drinking my coffee, watching Good Morning America.
Your
Kelly
Insta
and
shiatsu.
Oh, how's Kelly?
And with that, we will reconnect in a couple of days.
Wait a minute, did he start yet?
Yeah,
Seacrest?
Ryan Seacrest started.
Yeah. Okay. I will give one opinion about this that I was watching today. And what I took from Kelly and Michael was every time they went on air, Michael was always dressed in a suit and a tie. And he always, her and him, they just like went hand in hand because she could always dress up how she would, whatever. So now I've noticed that Ryan Seacrest just wears like his little khaki Docker pants, his jacket, and his just like striped tee. And then she's sitting there in like a skirt and so I'm wondering if she's going to...
Hashtag fire Ryan. Hire Richard.
No, because I love Ryan Seacrest. But I just wanted to know how that dynamic would end up meshing. If she may start going casual or if this is just how they're going to do it. I just feel like there's a different dynamic. When you look at him, he's very casually dressed.
Yeah.
And she's
It's big
still...
time for that show. That's a big hire for that show, though.
Oh, heck yeah. He's
I
great.
still would like like Kelly and Richard better than.
So would I. Thank
I
you,
would
Rafa.
also like Michael and Allie, but hey, we can't all have that. Anyhow,
Yeah, we all.
I don't want none of that.
for this edition of Road Trippin with RJ and
Let
Jay,
me just disappear.
until next time, Allie Clifton.
Peace out, folks.